Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Right, so we've got some more updates and I just thought I'd let yous know this whole CreepShow art thing is literally everywhere at this point. I cannot go on my feed without a CreepShow video popping in my fucking face, dude. I can't get away from it. What is going on? So obviously we've covered the Emily Artful scenario. The video she put out literally exposed CreepShow and her husband massively, hugely, crazy. Mental. There's been more information and it's all on Twitter in this thread by I'm not even going to try and pronounce this. Kevin. We'll call him Kevin because that's his name, right? Kevin. Thanks for the thread today, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. I always talk about I do like the name Kevin. Anyways, he came out with a thread. Now, this thread blew me in to next week. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, guys. I'll be honest with you. I'm getting smacked left, right and centre because all this information keeps coming out and I've got a tension headache. So let's start off with this thread and let's see what Kevin has to say. So just get prepared. There's a lot of reading. There's loads of reading. I love reading. I don't. Strap in tight. We're going to be going upside down. I never thought I'd find myself related to a situation like this, but I am absolutely in the business of holding people accountable for their actions. So I'd like to share what I know about the situation between CreepShow and Emily. In the interest of preventing doxing, I am not going to include any information that might put someone in danger. But if it becomes necessary for either a court case or things get wildly out of control, I can provide more specifics. Kevin, yes. I met Shannon my fresh year of college in 2011. We shared an English class and worked on a group project together. Outside of that, at the time, we didn't have much contact. I ended up leaving that school and attending a community college that was close to my hometown. At school, I ended up meeting my abuser. She ended up completely separating me from my entire support group and I lost nearly all my friends. There was a period of a few months where my abuser and I broke up and this is when I reconnected with Shannon. Sorry to hear that, Kevin. I hope you're all right now, dude. Shannon ended up at the same community college, saw me on campus and stopped me to say hi. I was desperate to make new friends, so this seemed like a blessing. She was fine at the beginning. We'd just hang out and share music, but she became concerning very quickly. It started with her introducing me to Anthony's music. She told me that he was her ex. They were still in a sexual relationship. The way he treated her seemed very unhealthy, and I told her as such. But Shannon was insistent that he was good for her. 2 peas in a pod, no? Eventually, she shared one of Anthony's music videos that featured Emily and told me that Emily was also Anthony's ex. Shannon told me that Emily was crazy. And Anthony only kept her around because she was a good singer, among other things. For a while, every time Shannon and I would hang out, she would fixate entirely on Emily. She would point out all of what she perceived as Emily's flaws. Would talk about how all her tattoos were related to Anthony somehow. Everything she could to put her down. Now, here we go. This is where it all begins. So we've got this geezer, Kevin, that is literally clarifying Emily's story. I don't know why I've got my headphones in for. This is weird, y'all. I have seen women like Shannon, so it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. They have some sort of obsession. Shannon is just blatantly jealous of Emily, no? Tell me I'm fucking wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Please. Is this because he kept her around because he thought she was a good singer and then Shannon sat there in the corner like, I don't know, this seems so fucking toxic to me. This seems so toxic, no? I thought it was strange to fixate so much on an ex's ex, but I was desperate for anyone to help me out of the situation I was in. So I ignored a lot of the red flags. I haven't really been able to forgive myself for that, especially considering what happened next. Here we go. Shannon began to cyberstalk Emily, first starting by finding her YouTube page. She shared videos with me and I naively thought that was harmless and it would go no further. But Shannon started looking for her home address, her phone number, or any other info she could find. Shannon told me how she had plans to harass Emily, either by sending her letters or prank calling her home. How she planned to leave hate messages on her videos or DM her from burner accounts to spread hate. This is when I began to distance myself from Shannon. Well, it all makes sense now, no? I think this was just sort of not the icing on the cake, because then again, like, we've not got much proof from this geezer either. He does post some semi-proof, which we'll get to in a second, but oh boy, is this a mess now? It's just embarrassing. I mean, for 10 years through, so when Shannon was 18 to 28, she just carried on this behaviour. I don't know, it's just so pathetic to me. To me, doing this sort of stuff just shows like there's no intellect in this woman's brain at all. Because if she had intellect, then she wouldn't have done this in the first place, so there you go. Clearly she's so unhappy with herself that she feels like she has to do this, you know? And that's pretty sad. Like, I do feel... oh, I've got to be careful what I say here. I do not really feel sorry for her. The distance led me back to my abuser, which is a different story. But one of my last interactions with Shannon was her proudly showing me that Emily had posted a video about closing her YouTube channel because of the harassment she was receiving. Wow. Imagine getting gassed. Imagine getting gassed at that. Whoa, priorities, where are they? Gone, mate. They went ages ago. I'm just laughing at the fact how mentally fucked you have to be on this level, you know. And I know I keep repeating it. I know I do, because I'm just so fucking confused. Anyway, sorry, I just keep interrupting this thread. I'm sorry, Kevin, for interrupting. Emily talked about how much it hurt to lose something that was important to her, but she was so anxious and in pain from the targeted harassment that she couldn't continue. It was at the point that I began to cut Shannon off. I felt guilty since that day that I didn't do anything sooner, that I didn't go to the police with what I knew, or at least attempt to talk with Shannon to tell her that what she was doing wasn't okay. But I was battling my own demons, and none of that seemed like an option. Oh, I get it. Everyone has got their own shit in life. Kevin, listen, Kevin. I won't feel guilty, mate. I won't feel guilty, but you're doing the right thing now, speaking out about it. Over the years, I would occasionally receive cryptic messages from Shannon at weird hours of the night, usually just a single emoji or a strange written greeting. This caused me to block her on most of my social media. Since then, I've deleted or rebranded my online presence to avoid my abuser. But a year ago, Shannon found all my new accounts and added me with no contact. I used this as an opportunity to confront her for what she did. Screenshots of that in the next tweet. I just find this so bizarre. How is Shannon finding everyone, dude? How much time does this chick have? Like, I don't know, Shannon. Go outside, yeah? Fucking hell. You're too much on the screen. Your life isn't even alive. Come on, girl. Jesus Christ. Clearly, the internet is not the place for Shannon. If she doesn't come to this realisation through self-reflection, then I'm hoping maybe someone will tell her. If you're that sensitive and you're that prone to go and bully and harass people online, I think the internet is not the place for you. And I really hope that she wakes up and smells a fucking coffee at this point. Obsessing about other people. Focus on your own life. She's good at art. Go pursue art somewhere. But this ain't it. Yeah, this is not it. I made it a habit to screenshot my actions because my abuser had recently begun to spread incredibly harmful rumours about me. I don't have screenshots of her response because her account has been deleted, but I requested my data from Twitter today to see if I can get it. Okay, now this is long as fuck. This video is just going to be like me reading. Practically. I love it. Hey there, it's been a while. I'm not sure how you found me, but it's nice to see a face from the past. Glad to see you have a pretty sizable following now and have found some sort of success. I hope you're doing okay. Other than that, life is pretty wild these days. When we last talked, we engaged in some very concerning behaviour. You don't say, Kevin. I was in a really dark place from Victoria. That must have been his abuser. And you were basically my only friend. So I just ignored how bad everything was. And that was very wrong of me. What began as what appeared at the time a fun thing to learn more about someone you had tangential connections with quickly developed cyberstalking. Oh, into cyber archive. Oh, sorry. You know what I should do is probably put my glasses on. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, that would have been a fucking great start, Mel. Developed into cyberstalking, bullying and harassment. What happened was not okay, and I should have said something sooner. I should have said something at the time, but didn't, and that has really weighed on me over the years, so I guess I'm saying something now. We were younger and dumber, but we still should have known better. It seems a lot of your content is focused on calling out people who have had similar behaviour, and I hope that's a sign that you've changed for the better. No. No, Kevin, it's not true. She's not. I'd like to believe that I've changed quite a bit since we last spoke, and a whole lot has damaged me. I've made great efforts to cut off large portions of my life from when we were friends. I'm concerned and I'm very hesitant to let people into my life as it stands. I'm not accusing you of anything malicious or that you have bad intentions. I've just got conspiracy theory brain nowadays. Yeah, I feel that. I do, Kevin. Victoria constantly stalked me for years after we officially broke up, and once she finally lost her last shred of contact with me, she started spreading extremely malicious lies about me so she could have some sort of control. I lost a lot because of it, and I've learned to not trust things and not believe in coincidences. It might not be a true lesson, but is the lesson I learned. I deleted my Facebook. I'm fairly certain I have you blocked on Instagram, which was either something Victoria had me do, or I did it as an effort to distance myself from the past to get over the guilt. I'm not sure exactly what the reason is, but it's fair to give you an explanation. I know I've rebranded my social media presence after we stopped talking, so I feel like to find me, you've had to be actively looking for me, or you've been keeping tabs on me ever since, and either situation sets me off a whole lot of alarms in my head. You know what, Kevin? I wouldn't even be surprised, mate. I feel like CreepShow's that sort of person that would like open a hotel and then put cameras in every single person's room, dude, that comes to stay. Anyone get them vibes, dude? Does anyone else get them fucking vibes? I feel the vibes. That was deep. Again, I'm not accusing you of doing anything malicious. I'm accusing me of paranoia, but I am still concerned. And double again, I'm really genuinely hope you are doing well. It just stresses me out a whole lot to have contact with anyone from that part of my life. I'm sorry. I use language that includes myself in the past actions because I was afraid of her targeting me if she hadn't changed. And I just came out completely confronting her. I feel like, Kevin, I do. Nice one. That's a good move, mate. 10 out of 10. Shannon's response was to brush off accountability, saying, "We were just dumb kids." She also insisted that she found me naturally, which didn't make sense as we had no similar circles and I'd had an even smaller following back then. When someone lies, you're just not inclined to trust them ever again. It seems like she likes to keep tabs on fucking everyone that she's friends with. It's psychotic. It's like she likes to have an ounce of control over everyone. She immediately said she would block me so I didn't have to be concerned about her, which didn't seem like an action a guiltless person would take. I thought it was over. I didn't know how much she was doing to hurt other people. That's the weirdest thing, dude. Why would you even say that? Just dousing the strip. Why would you even say that? Why would you even say that, man? That makes zero sense. I feel, in a way, it's sort of like this geezer knew what she was on back in day. And this guy is the one that could out her. So maybe that's why she kept tabs on him. To see what he was up to, if he was going to come out with the information. Because at the end of the day, it just backs Emily's story up 1000%. So when you look back at like the videos that CreepShow did, like the one, for instance, where she said she was stalked for 8+ years, a couple of days after flipping Emily tweeted the same thing. Obviously in an attempt to silence Emily from coming out in the first place. That's probably just me overanalyzing, but I'm just saying. It seems like she never really changed from when I knew her. My heart goes out to everyone she's hurt and everyone who thought they could trust her. This is such a terrible situation, and if anyone needs an ear, please feel free to reach out. If it becomes necessary, I can open my Facebook and try and download the data there, as I believe I have further information on Shannon's behaviour. But I hope this chapter can close and people can find a way to heal from the damage she's caused. Well spoken. I mean, you've really got to give credit to people like this that really come out with their side of things. It just adds a bit more context. And yeah, we'll see what happens because he might add more evidence as time goes on. But I know there's some people that were like, Mel, ready to glare us on a video. Can you react to it? I watched the full video in its entirety. I feel it, man. I feel it because... believe it or not, I went through a really similar situation back in the day. A friend that was just like CreepShow, believe it or not, funny.
And the most confusing and almost laughable part of this is that a couple days before all of this information came out, Shannon had sent me roses to my own house. You know, so like, I think that was also part of it. It sounds stupid, but it's like, how do you reconcile, oh yeah, someone sent me roses, but they also don't think much of me and are shit talking me on a website. It is so contradictory that you almost feel a little bit crazy because you're like, okay, what happened in between? Like, you know, so I think that also made me feel worse because I was like, what do these flowers represent?
I was just like, this Shannon girl, yeah? I don't know her. Don't care for her. She is on some next fucking level. Like, she needs to go see someone because that sort of behaviour is not on. You can't go around, like, guilt-tripping people. It's like she's playing the fucking Sims with people's lives. Of her friends' lives. The people you're supposed to care about. It just honestly baffles me. I don't get it. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please take care. I'll see you in the next one. In a bit.